Hi everyone, I'm going to show you quickly about using a spreadsheet from Google Docs. Probably you've not heard of this, but here we go. This is the section of the workshop this week. As you can see, Compendium Workshop Week 2. Loads of stuff on there. There's a complicated section in the middle about how to manipulate your data in a spreadsheet. Very important. It's used throughout all kinds of business and scientific academic settings. But this is a really efficient way of doing it. Okay, if I control click on my link there, immediately I get all of the data just to look at if I want to. When I do it, I can edit this data, but this is just a viewer, so you have to save your own copy. There's lots of numbers on here which you won't see because I've got a thing that shows me numbers. So I've turned that off, and I simply need to do File, Download As. Probably the thing that you want will be an Excel file, like so. Okay, you'll get your copy of it, placement by final only text, which is a reference to the, that's it, and then as, that's all my money that you just saw there, and it's now inside an Excel file, and I can do File, Save As, and I put it onto my desktop, like that, copy of placement only text, save, like so. And then inside Excel, because you've now got your own personal copy, you can do a whole load of editing if you want to. And the kind of things that we want you to do in this example is to sort, whoopsie-daisy, is to sort this into different bins. Now this first column is just what I've called the SID, subject ID. You can see that there are, if I scroll down, 414 people involved in this. They're all students in former years at Aston who did a placement, yes or no. You see, so this column here is a what's called a factor variable or a categorical variable. Instead of using numbers, it makes more sense to use words, which you can do in the software that we're using. So we don't have to remember that 1 means that it's a placement year and 2 means that we just put yes and no in and it'll work okay. And then F final Y, that means their final year grade. Often the sort of names that we have to use for this, you can't really put very expansive, you can't put placement year in that as two separate words because it would think there was two separate things going on, placement and year, you see. So you have to have just one word always. You could do it so that it was like this if you wanted. You could do placement year or something where I've got I've underscore, so that sort of still acts like 1 year, but you don't need that, it just gets cluttered. Anyways, little tips there. And you can do this. I clicked on the letter A, look, I'll do it again. That highlights the whole column. If you just click in a box, it just highlights that one box. Okay, you see at the top there it's showing you what's in the box in case you want to change it. If I click on a column, then it highlights the whole column. If I click and hold down my mouse key and drag across, it highlights all the columns. Right? And then you can do manipulations on everything. If I make the menu a bit bigger, if I remember what to do, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sort the data. So data, sort, okay, then it asks me what I want to do. So I want to just separate it into people that did placement years and people that did not do a placement year. So I'm going to sort by placement, okay, sort values on the order A to Z, so I want it to go no and then yes, so it'd be N and then Y. So I do OK, then it'll shuffle them all around. See, and then I've got all my no's together, and I can scroll down to where it goes from yeses to no, and I can see that that point there, you see, that line, that row 190 is the first, is the last person who said no, so there must be 189 people. You've got to be careful that you don't sort on this thing as well, because sometimes it will not know that you've got a head. This is what's called a header row, the names. Let me resort it for you. Sort again. I'm going to see my data. You see there, my data has headers. It recognises that, but if that's unchecked, if that hasn't got a tick in, it will mix in. It'll think that SID is one of these things, which it isn't. You see. So in this case, the box, the black box, has missed out those things, even though I selected the whole columns. So now I'm going to sort the values on sort placement years, sort final year, values smallest to largest. See who got the smallest score. If you want to do that kind of thing, someone only got 3. So these people are going to be outliers, probably because they missed part of the course or something like this. Yeah. Anyway, so that's how you manipulate these things, and the kind of things we want you to do are to try again, sort by, let me see, by placement year, values A to Z, and then you can add extra conditions if you want to. Add a level, then by final year, smallest to largest. There you go. So on the placement year, we had some people didn't do very well. They did no placement year, and on the did a placement year, there isn't anyone who did really dramatically badly. Anyways, so that's the kind of thing. That's the sort of skill we want you to develop with handling spreadsheet. Now, the neat thing is, right, is that with our software gadgets, it's very simple to. Let me leave this open for you and show you what happens if I open up one of our stats modules. So this is the kind of thing we're doing. This is the same kind of plotty thing that you saw last week. This one is going to produce also the density plot. I clicked that, and now it should be visible inside my browser. Wherever my browser has gone. So I should have closed loads of these down before I started this. There it is, I think. I produce this one. It looks a bit different from the one you've been using, but it's actually the same software. Now you see this bit here, this is the data panel. Okay? And this will take any kind of data as long as it's the same, as long as it's designed to do what it's supposed to do. Okay, so this is supposed to take a single load of numbers, okay, and then it will produce you appropriate pictures. So if I go back and find my Excel spreadsheet, copy of placement year, and I decide that I'm going to look at, I'm going to ignore the I'll just keep the outlines in. I'm going to look at everyone who says that they didn't do a placement year. And I just need to highlight those people. Right click, copy, okay, it's got that dotty box around it. Go back to my software module, left click in this box, you see the cursor in there now, and then I can select all that. I can do that with my keyboard, Control A, delete it all with the delete key, Control V, copies it in, see that's now different data. Okay, and when if I scroll down now, click compute, as long as I haven't done anything daft, which is always a possibility. Ah, look, different stuff, amazing. And then you can blog it and all that kind of stuff if you want, and you can fiddle with your data. Let's take these guys out at the top, take those outliers out. Notice I've got to get rid of that extra line there as well, and recompute it again, because it's really good fun. Comme ça. And now, whoa, you see the difference, eh? Just removing those few outliers. While I'm at it, just give you a few demonstrations of things that can go wrong. Just imagine that if I had left that gap in at the start there, what would have happened? See, it's not a data file, it's just a hole in my data box. If I compute it now, software will complain at me, probably. Didn't. Oh, it didn't leave it. I'll put all of that. Just put right, I've got to put a gap in the middle there, see if it notices it this time. Compute. Ah, you see. Warning, there are blank lines in the data field. So it's trying to tell you by these messages here what is going wrong. Sometimes it sort of can't read. So you look at there. So there's my blank line. I get rid of that. It's a mistake. What else can I do? I might ask it for -10 bins by mistake. See what it does then. Compute on that. Now this time it's probably not expecting anyone to do that, so it won't have an appropriate kind of message. So it'll just give you something. It's just packed in. Execution halted. I just haven't got a clue what you're doing. It says. Gives you something in there. Invalid number of breaks. So as you've asked for -10 histogram bins. You see? How else can I break it? If that's empty, that would be an invalid number of breaks. So let's keep it. If we put 1,000,000 in, see if it'll do anything. Did I click compute? It's worked. No, it's just barfed completely, hasn't it? Yeah. I can actually now explore. Oh, I won't. I could do. But I won't. We just have a quick look. We can look at the output of the R engine. This is what the computer actually did, and it got down to here, and it was killed. It was killed because I was asking for a really, really silly graph. Okay, so keep an eye out for the things. But if you do sensible stuff, I suppose 100 is sensible. Try again. It'll be quite friendly. There you go. It's one of your spiky favourites. So that was a little journey through handling text files, downloading stuff from the astonishing Google Docs, wherever it's gone. There, you can get your own account with Google Docs, and it allows you to share stuff with all your mates. It's just fabulous. Thank you for listening. Bye.